Next up, we'll have Amina from MH Action.
Thank you. So, thank you everyone for being here. My name is Amina Kamau. I'm a community organizer with MH Action, and we are proud to support Representative Maxwell Frost with this Pro-Manufactured Home Communities Act. So I work across the state of Florida, which, as mentioned, has more private equity-owned manufactured parks than anywhere else in the country. And I want to tell you who I'm organizing with. I organize primarily with seniors, people who chose manufactured housing because it was affordable, dignified, and theirs. Florida has some of the highest concentrations of age-based communities in the nation. These are people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who own their homes but rent the land, and when a corporation buys that land, they become the most vulnerable people in the housing market overnight. I organize with people who have been retaliated against for speaking up, who have been threatened with eviction for trying to form a homeowners association, who have been handed a lease that calls their manufactured home an RV, turning them from tenants to transient. In most cases, these residents are fighting alone against corporations with armies of lawyers in a system that was not built for them to win. That's why MH Action exists. We stand in the gap. We show up, we knock on doors, we sit at kitchen tables and help residents document these abuses. We help them find their voice and build their power to understand that they are not alone in this fight. And that's why this bill matters. So the Pro-Manufactured Home Communities Act says to states like Florida, if you give residents the right to buy their community before Wall Street does, we'll back you up. It creates a real shot at resident ownership and at stability that can't be taken away the next time the park sells. So lastly, I want to talk about something that is uncomfortable but important. We need to drop the stigma around manufactured housing. The people who live in these communities are not a monolith. They are raising kids, veterans, teachers, retirees, working for the same thing everybody wants, a stable place to call home. The American dream shouldn't come with a caveat or a footnote that says, unless you live in a manufactured home. So it's important to know that when residents share their stories, and thank you all so much, when residents share their stories, it breaks down the stereotypes that let politicians look the other way. So your story is organizing, and your story is power. This is not simply a manufactured housing issue, it is an affordable housing issue. And it's going to take all of us, residents, advocates, local leaders, state leaders, federal leaders, organizing at every single level to win it. It takes children, grandchildren, and young people priced out of the housing market. We need to be in this fight too, and it must be multi-generational. So if you have been pushed out, if you faced an unlawful eviction, or if you love someone who lost a home that they thought was theirs to die in, please contact your representative and tell them your story, but also demand that they support this legislation. Because safe and stable housing is something we all have to fight for together. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Amina. Look, we have a housing crisis in this country, but to take a step back, we have an ownership crisis in this country. Where little by little, year after year, corporations are buying up everything and giving us the honor of being able to rent it from them. We see that the home ownership rates, the average age for a first-time home buyer right now is 41 years old. 41 years old. Car leases are going up. If we continue on this trend, most people won't even own a car in about 30 years. In 40 years, most people might not even own their phone. In fact, you don't own the music you listen to or the movies you watch anymore either. Everything is being rented to us. It's for a simple reason. When our economy falls on hard times, who does the government bail out? The people who have the keys. They don't want us to have the keys. But for working people, owning a home, that's usually the largest asset you'll have to build wealth. Pass that wealth to your kids. Keep that wealth in your family so we can all do well. That's what we want. We want people to build wealth. We want people to have stability. But we're in a country where increasingly there's so few that have so much, and so much of our people that have so little. So I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, or this and that. It's less about looking around at who to blame. Look up. Look at the people who've been leaving us with crumbs for generations. We've had enough of it. We've had enough of it. And this issue, I think, is really at the core of what we're seeing. Corporations valuing profits over humans, profits over people. And I really want to thank a lot of the residents we have here. Thank you so much to Ellie, our HOA leader that came, our local elected officials, Commissioner Uribe, Senator LaVon Bracey Davis. Thank you so much to Samaritan Resource. Thank you so much to MH Action and everyone that came out.